I like chicken breasts. I don't care what people say. I like chicken breasts and I like Billy Joel. Mayo marinated chicken. You can get the full recipe on NewYorkTimesCooking.com. Hey everyone, how's it going? We got some mayo out. I got some chicken over here, which means that it's time to do another mayo rubbed chicken recipe. Today we're going to be doing my mayo marinated grilled chicken cutlet recipe. Specifically the one with the chimichurri marinade, although I might also do a sort of teriyaki style marinade as well. So I'm going to start by telling you why mayo makes such a great addition to marinades. First of all, it's thick, it's an emulsion, so when you add flavors to it, they stick to the meat, which means that when you then grill the meat, those things don't just drip off into or burn into the fire. They stay right on the surface of the meat, and what happens is that the mayonnaise, as it cooks, the emulsion eventually breaks, but those egg proteins help all that stick to the surface of the meat, so it doesn't end up looking or tasting like mayo at the end. It just looks like really well marinated, really tasty grilled meats. The other thing that mayo does is it acts as a sort of guard against burning. So a marinade like a teriyaki marinade, which has a lot of sugar in it, on a grill is very easy to burn. It's likely to burn. But when you cut it with mayonnaise, there's something about the way the emulsion prevents that sugar from burning. What I've found is that any sauce that tastes good on its own, say barbecue sauce or harissa or chimichurri or chermoula or teriyaki sauce, anything that you would sort of put on meat on its own, if you mix it with mayonnaise and coat your meat with it before you grill it, it makes it better. And that's the case for steak, pork chops, chicken, fish. You know, there's a very classic salmon with mayo is a very classic sort of Pacific Northwest thing. So this one we're going to start with a chimichurri. We're going to make this more Argentinian style. You know, the style of chimichurri that I was familiar with for a while is made almost like a pesto, you know, where you kind of grind herbs with olive oil. So it's more of like an olive oil based sauce. This version of the sauce we're making is a little bit more true to the classic. So rather than an olive oil base, it's going to be made with dried herbs and warm salt water. So the warm salt water is called salmuera. And what we do is we're going to rehydrate these herbs. All right, so this is just some Calabrian oregano. You can use whatever oregano you have. This is just the only oregano I happen to have there. I'm going to get some dried cumin in there. The cumin's optional. I know some people don't really like the flavor of cumin, but I like it in here, especially when, I think it goes especially well with the grill. We're going to put a little pinch of chili flakes. You could use something like cayenne pepper. I'm using piment d'Espelette. We're going to put some sweet paprika in there. All right, and then over that we're going to pour our salt water. So this is salted warm water, and we're basically just going to let that steep like a tea while we mix together the rest of our ingredients. So the idea is that, you know, we're kind of rehydrating the oregano. Next, we're going to take 8 cloves of garlic into a mortar and pestle. We're going to give it a little pinch of salt. The salt acts as a abrasive to help the garlic sort of stay in place, and it also kind of grinds it up. At the start, eventually it's going to start, you know, dissolving and pulling out some more of the juices from inside the garlic. But salt is a pretty essential addition when you're doing garlic in a mortar and pestle, or if you're doing it with a knife. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, first I suggest you get one. They are one of the most useful tools in the kitchen. But you could, you know, you could do this with the side of a knife. Put it on, you know, chop up your garlic, sprinkle it with salt, and kind of rub it with your side of your knife over and over until it turns into a paste. Or, you know, if you're not feeling either of those things, you could just push it through a garlic press, and that'll work okay. So we're looking for a kind of paste like this. Some chunks are okay. This is not a smooth sauce per se. And then that garlic is going to go straight into our salmuera. All right, and then our final ingredients in here are a couple of fresh herbs. So I've got about a cup of picked parsley leaves and about a quarter cup of picked fresh oregano leaves. This is sort of the classic combination, but you can feel free, of course, to experiment with whatever herbs you like. I think cilantro is really nice in here. You could go all parsley, all cilantro. I wouldn't go all oregano because it's just a little powerful, but needless to say, if it tastes good to you, it'll probably taste good in here. if you're not used to this style of chimichurri, it can be a little surprising because most of the chimichurris I find these days, especially at restaurants, tend to be very heavily olive oil based. So you can absolutely do it that way if you prefer. Leave out the salmuera. You can also just leave out the dried herbs completely and just go with fresh herbs and mix them with those other ingredients and some olive oil. However, I don't know. I suggest you try it this way once and see what you think. Chimichurri, classic pairing for grilled meats. It's also something that keeps pretty well in the fridge. The color will change a little bit, just the way a pesto does, but there's going to be vinegar in there, and the salt helps sort of preserve it, so it goes pretty well in the fridge, and the flavors get a little bit mellower and more sort of married as time goes on. Do people also get mellower after being married? I guess it depends on the marriage.
True story.
What about you? Did you get mellower or wilder after marriage?
I got mellower. It's better this way.
Yeah. So that all is going to go into our bowl also. I'm going to finish it off with some red wine vinegar, 1/4 cup. Okay, 4 tablespoons. That's about that. And then our olive oil. A couple tablespoons of olive oil. Or more if you like more. This is a very slow pour. Go in there, get in there.
Go, go, go. Go, 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 go.
I'm going to also season it with a little black pepper. And then we'll taste it. I'm not going to add salt to it yet because there's obviously a lot of salt in that salmuera. And there's also salt in the garlic. So we will mix it up first and taste it before we add any extra. Definitely does not need salt. Ooh, that's spicy. What's so spicy in there? Maybe I put a little more piment than I expected. So now comes the actual marinating part. Let me grab some of that. Where's my eel sauce? All right, and we're gonna try it both with our freshly made chimichurri and with some eel sauce here. So I'm gonna take, what does it call for? A couple tablespoons of this?
In the mayo? Mm-hmm. 1 whole cup of chimichurri.
Oh,
and
one whole cup.
1/3 cup mayo.
Got it, okay. So 3 to 1. So that's about half of this chimichurri, I'd say.
And that's for 4 cutlets.
And a 1/3 cup of mayo. I'm going with Duke's, not for any reason other than I have it, and I like it.
And the chat blows up.
People have feelings about Duke's. All right, and we'll do a similar thing here. So this is just store-bought eel sauce, which is essentially, very similar to what like a teriyaki glaze would be. So this is not my recipe for teriyaki chicken, but this is a sort of cheaty way that you can get pretty decent teriyaki chicken. Let's do about half and half for that, okay?
This is a sauce that would be like painted on unagi.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right, so those are our 2 marinades. Put the chicken in. Chimichurri. Teriyaki.
I get caramel apple.
I've got chicken cutlets here, so 4 chicken cutlets going to go into each one. We should do what, Michael?
Dip an apple in this and see.
Oh, jeez. We'll just kind of work it all around in there. What does this feel like to you?
To listen to or to watch?
To watch, or?
I mean, it's kind of soothing. No, I wouldn't say terribly appetizing at this point.
Yeah, no, chicken is a thing generally better enjoyed cooked. All right, and we will. So once you've got this marinated, you can let this sit in your marinade. You can do it overnight. I wouldn't go much beyond overnight because it can start to sort of cure and sort of get a hammy texture. It's not going to be the end of the world, but if you want to do this part in advance, if you got a barbecue coming up or a hot date at the grill, a hot date at the hot grill, and you don't want to be spending all of your time in the kitchen, you can do this all in advance. And then the day of, pull it out, heat up your grill, and you're ready to go. Speaking of heating up the grill, I'm going to go outside, heat up the grill, and so I'll see you back outside. I'm going to do a magic snap, and we'll be outside with the hot grill ready. You ready?
Teleport.
All right, and we are magically outside. I've got my grill preheated. High heat for about 10 minutes. You want it to be nice and hot before you put the chicken on, because these are so thin, they cook pretty quick. So I'm going to take my paper towel soaked with a little bit of oil and just oil the grates so that nothing sticks. I always like to treat it like a sort of like a cast iron pan where I give it a coat, let it polymerize on there, let it kind of darken and burn a little bit, and then give it a couple more coats, and that'll really get you a nice sort of slick surface for cooking on. Let's start with a chimichurri piece over here. And another chimichurri piece. And let's do over here a couple of those teriyakis. Whew, that is hot. Let's see, that might be beyond high. Like which I think was the title of a Cheech and Chong. So these will sit here for a minute or so before I flip them. So I will see you again in 20 seconds. So I'm going to close the grill grate. Gas grills, when you leave the lid open, they tend to lose a lot of heat because gas grills always vent enough that your fuel is combusting perfectly, because you don't want uncombusted fuel to build up in there. So gas grills always have vents in them, which means that whether your lid is open or closed, they're going to be burning really efficiently. So closing the lid on a gas grill will actually trap more heat in there and make sure that you stay hot enough to sear. Whereas a charcoal grill, on the other hand, if you leave it open, it will actually burn hotter because you're getting more air in there. So if I were doing this on a charcoal grill, I would leave the lid open, or at least a little bit ajar. But on a gas grill, I'm going to close it. But it's probably been about a minute or so now, so I'm going to give it a little flip. You can see, so if this was just straight, I should have done it to compare, but if this was just straight up teriyaki sauce, at this point it probably would have been completely burnt to heck. But because we have this mayo in here, it's not. And you can just take it for granted that I'm going to be flipping this every minute or so until the chicken is done. So for about 5 minutes, and hopefully by that time we'll build up a nice crust on it, and the chicken will be cooked through. So I will see you when the chicken is done in, it's been about 5 minutes now. So I've flipped them a few times. They are cooked through, nicely brown but not burnt. Just what we're looking for. Even that teriyaki, you're getting these little crispy edges, but no real charring or burning that you're looking, that I guess you kind of want to avoid. All right, let's take the chicken off. Let's see how it all came together, huh? Get some more of this chimichurri on the side, but here, let me slice into it. Wow, you can actually feel how tender that is. When you fast cook chicken like that, it just, it doesn't really have time to dry out. So it ends up really juicy, but still sort of fully cooked through. Even chicken breasts like this will do that. Let's put a little bit more of that chimichurri on there. I'm going to try a bite. Vinegary, charred. Lena, you want some?
Always.
Michael, you want some?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
That's perfect. Juicy.
Yeah, just real good. I like chicken breasts. I don't care what people say. I like chicken breasts and I like Billy Joel.
Say it, brother.
I'm not afraid to admit either of those things. All right, let's try our pseudo teriyaki here, our eel sauce chicken. That is really good. Mayo marinated chicken. It works on chicken, it works on beef, it works on pork chop, it works on fish. Just combine your favorite flavors, your favorite sauce with some mayonnaise. I really love doing this, by the way, I didn't mention it before. Thai curry paste makes a really great one for this. But mix your favorite flavoring and your favorite sauce with some mayonnaise. coat your chicken in it, and then grill it. You know, your chicken cutlets will take about 5 minutes on a hot grill. So it's a real easy way to use either a homemade sauce like this chimichurri or a store-bought sauce like this eel sauce to flavor your chicken and have dinner on the table real fast. You can get the full recipe on NewYorkTimesCooking.com. All right, see you later.